Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called it.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I actually love you, but
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something new. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
Hello, everyone. Stockwatch Nation, one in the nation. Is that our saying? Isn't that our intro now?
Or
Didn't we agree?
One in the nation? No.
One in the nation? You talked about this. You mentioned this yesterday. We had a meeting.
Yeah, I remember being at that meeting.
Yeah, it was an important meeting for sure.
It was.
But my name is Will West, as always, and with me is the kind, courteous, generous man in purple, Mr. Josh Elliott Pickle. Josh, that's a lot of Survivor Connecticut.
Yeah. I was
gear.
thinking I wanted to come in with I always like wearing my buffs on my head, and then I feel like if I was ever on Survivor, I couldn't wear it as the head bandana because I would be so worried about how it looks. And I keep forgetting that, just the gaiter, just the neckwear is also good too. But, I think that's a different thing. We need to have an off-season podcast, just fashion, Survivor fashion. We need to bring that back.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard to look fashionable and look nice and presentable on an island. And plus, buff fashion got ended in Survivor Gabon with Bob Crowley with the little bow tie buff. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. No, but Josh, what an episode. Josh, did you win Survivor? Josh, you are Survivor Connecticut. That's kind of that's how it
but
is.
I didn't win Survivor Connecticut. I came close, but I came close twice.
It's crazy how the guy who started it and ran it is also playing in it.
Well, I have a couple of friends who like hosting, and they set up the games. It originally started as something for my birthday, but it's grown into something that's really been a lot of fun. So
I'm there season 3, by the way. Hope you know.
Come out,
Please don't host it a day after Halloween, please.
We wanted a Halloween themed season, so it was kind of fun, but that won't happen again.
That was because it was hard taking a 6 a.m. bus after Thanksgiving or after Halloween just to show up and then leave that night. It was not going to be fun. But Josh, we have an episode to talk about. How'd you think about this episode? Episode 9. Rizzo got the episode title as well for everyone taking notes of the episode titles. Did you like it? Was it a good episode? Did you have fun with it?
I really like this merge, and I think I said this last episode. It's every single episode just is showing us really difficult people to be voted out. I feel like these people that we've had have been very high-ranking people on my list. Specifically, I know MC was somebody who one week I even had her as a winner pick, and she was gone. Yeah. Nate was somebody who I remember I had as high as 3 at some point. He was gone. Alex, I think we had at number 5 overall last week. He's gone. All these great players who have such great potential in this game keep getting sniped. I do think it was a bad episode for Alex, though. I think he did get caught this episode, but it also feels, based on the way that it was talked about, that this had been something that Rizzo had been thinking about for some time. I don't think he just had his eureka moment this episode. But honestly, in terms of the episode title, I actually thought it was Alex who was going to say the episode title about Christina. I didn't really know where Christina was, but now that we see the episode, it makes a lot more sense that it was Alex.
Yeah, I was going to say, Christina doesn't really seem like someone who trusts everyone. She doesn't have a blank slate trust list. It's more of, she's tight with Hina, and she's always going to go with Hina. And then after that, it's there's not really a lot of people on the board. Christina honestly has still the worst screen time. I feel really bad because she will do something or she'll have a big moment each episode. Last episode, she found the idol. This episode, she gave up her reward. 2 things which should be big moments, this is like a hero. This is great. Like Christina should be on the up and up. We should be like, dude,
You're,
Christina is
you're
going to
saying
win.
that she's completely getting snubbed in this edit because why that makes so much. Let me rephrase. That's a really good point because why aren't they giving her a hero edit? I mean, you would think that somebody like this would be getting a hero edit, but she is getting snubbed. I don't know. I don't know why she's getting snubbed because now that we're seeing a little bit more of her, I feel like she's the type of person to talk strategy in those smaller conversations, but I don't think she has influence. And if anybody saw the sneak peek, here's my assumption for next episode. They showed a reaction as the very last shot of that sneak peek from the jury. Yeah, sorry, y'all. Knowledge is power is definitely coming into play next episode. Because why else would that jury be shocked other than like an advantage we haven't seen in a very long time being whipped out?
Yeah.
Well, Christina, your idol's getting taken. Because I think
that's probably why too.
Well, it's a really interesting episode because Alex is that person, right, who should have told Soph, but didn't, right? We didn't see that conversation happen. It's interesting that Steven was the one to relay that information because overall, we think, at least I think that Sage is going to be the one who lets it slip.
Yeah.
And when she lets it slip, it's going to cause a big thing. When Christina possibly goes next episode, Steven's rankings are going to go down.
Yeah, I actually have a really weird opinion about Steven. It honestly, starting this episode, I think a lot of my rankings are way more set in stone. Like the barrier between number 3 and number 4 is so much larger now than it's ever been. And I've pretty much asked everyone left in the cast. I'm cutting Steven as well. I think Steven doesn't have a chance as well. Wow. I think part of the reason why Sophie S and Christina both have no screen time, a lot of the time they do that is when either production wants to hide a player. So they did that with like Heather in 41 just to like make it a surprise. Other times too is when a player gets like twist screwed or they get like a weird advantage getting or something happens unconventional. That way fans aren't like, oh my God, Christina got robbed. Like, bring back Christina. What happened? Why is it like production sucks? They don't want to build up Christina as a character knowing she goes out unconventionally. But also, it just makes it way too obvious. And I'd rather have the heartbreak. I'd rather like root for Christina and then have Christina go and then me be like, dude, this is devastating. Because instead it's just like all of the players that we've ranked from like 3 to 6, they're the ones who are always getting voted out week after week after week after week. It's never 1 and 2, never the bottom feeders. But
it's always the people just below.
And Diary's like, this is why Christina's crying and saying, I'm next. I agree.
Yeah,
I think
Christina's been taking blow after blow. I really don't think it's been in Christina's favor. Or Steven's. I think Steven's losing allies. I mean, he had 2 people he was really close to, MC and Alex, who he had. I feel like he had this emotional reaction with the chickens when he started saying, I don't want to eat the chickens. I don't want to eat them anymore. I'd be fine if I didn't eat them.
It's weird because the players that we have ranked on top, they should not be on top, but you just kind of tell. You can kind of tell the trajectory of the season. You kind of see where we're heading. And it's interesting because this is like the first time where I've really seen like a minority alliance break the mold and really take over at the merge. And it was never to this extent. Like last season, it was a majority alliance who took over. 47, it was just fluid gameplay all throughout. Like 46, again, fluid gameplay, just kind of steamrolled by Charlie and Maria. And then it's like, I've never seen a majority alliance ruin their advantage like this week after week after week. And now we're getting into crunch time because now people are going to start looking at each other. I now think, Steven is starting to turn the tides against Christina, being like, hey, I need to protect myself. And we'll get to Steven when we get to Steven. But Josh, do you want to jump right on in and go to Alex now?
Yeah, let's talk about Alex. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sad to see him go out at this spot because like we've been with Alex since the very beginning. It seemed that he just had to keep going to tribal council. He got a little bit of a break on that second tribe swap, and he just made it through. Um, I it's funny that he admitted when he got voted out that he was playing the middle in front of everybody. It had that little moment. But I really did like Alex as a person. I think he was a great personality to have on this season, and it's going to be sad not having Alex around. I liked him. You know, he was our underdog.
I'm sure Leslie right now is kicking her feet like, God damn it, why is Alex gone? Because Leslie was a huge fan of Alex when we spoke to her last week. But no, Alex is a weird case because he technically on paper had a really strong edit all throughout. He had a lot of screen time very early on. He was constantly getting more content. And then the swap happened and he waned. He died. He crashed and burned. And then just over time, he never got more screen time. And he never spoke about like his position whatsoever. Every time we saw him, he was just like, hey, I'm kind of in the middle still. And I also kind of think he got lucky with just how the twists happen. He never really had to pick a side all throughout. He was involved with the Nate flip early on. And so he never really had to worry about the game. And wonders how things would have gone if he rode with Nasty Annie. Is that Annie's nickname, Nasty Annie? Oh, God. I don't like the implications at all. Oh, my God, New York, New York. It's insane behavior. But no, yeah. Alex seemed like a player who was always designed to make the merge. It's her band name. Trashy Annie. Why is Annie disgusting?
Annie has these names, these nicknames.
I'm just happy that Survivor's casting more musicians. With Sifu, Ben, and Annie, it's my time to shine.
Awesome. I think Annie and Steven were recently seen at like a Bryson Wen event performing. I saw a video of Annie and Steven like playing music together on a stage.
I was gonna say I was pretty sure that was Zan's, and then it wasn't. And I didn't want you to be a first-time viewer and come to the podcast and me call you like, "Hey, what's up, Zan's?" and you'd be like, "Who? What?" That's on me. That's a cool fact as well. I love when the musicians do things with other Survivor people. I know Ben did a lot of things with like Charlie as well.
He did stuff with Coach. He did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did some stuff with Coach. I thought that was really cool.
The Survivor ska band is going to happen, and I'm excited for it. We're not ready for it. I mean, let me just say,
it's actually a good point. They have brought along a lot of musicians.
Yeah, they know what they want. They got perfect casting, Ben, and they kept going. They just no.
I wonder what would have happened with Alex's game if he still had the idol. If he didn't play that idol, I think Alex could have potentially had that threat on him. I think he probably might have went sooner. They would have tried to flush it at a certain point.
Do you think he would have told anyone else about the idol, like Steven or Sage, about the idol?
I don't know. I don't think Alex would have told anyone.
Or would Sophie tell other people about the idol? Because Sophie knew.
That's the part about keeping a secret in the game. Some people got to keep. Keeping the knowledge is power a secret. Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's so really good. But I do see a world where like Soph tells Rizzo and Savannah like early on just to build trust because they swap together. So Soph could say anything, and then when they merge, Soph could just be like, "Hey, I found good allies. I had to say you have the idol just so I survived." Because Soph also went to more tribals than Alex in that swap, anyways. So I think no matter what, Alex would have been caught with the idol. It's just he would have been able to go on a longer cockroach run, like what
Mhm.
Rizzo's doing right now. But, you know, Alex, I think, still played a good game. It's hard being on the losingest tribe. It's hard being on a sucky tribe. And I wish he made it further. I wish we got more game sense from him because he seemed like a smart guy. And he just seemed like too much of a winner too early on. I'm not
But
gonna
also,
lie.
Alex was really playing all sides. He didn't really have a number one. That's like that's the tough thing is that like I'm not seeing a lot of players like have like the one person that they necessarily talk a lot of strategy with. It doesn't seem like there's a duo. It's more like a trio. That's all I've seen. But nobody else has a duo. Like even Steven and MC, they didn't really get the narrative that they were like a really strong, tight alliance.
And you know, I see that except for Savannah and Rizzo, but that is a point to bring up later because there's some weird editing going on with that, and I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
You know, it's nothing too crazy or revolutionary, but it is a good question that I saw asked online, and you know, it's a good thought experiment. But we're gonna move along to Christina, who is at last place, and I don't know what ceiling Christina has. I don't know where she goes. She could make Final Tribal Council for all I know. I could see that. I could see Christina. I could see the storyline too. I could see Christina making Final Tribal Council, them being like they're going to edit her as a threat. They're gonna be like, dude, Christina like is super nice. She has the jury locked in the bag because she's super nice and friendly to everyone, and she didn't piss anyone off. And that's how they're going to edit Christina come like Final Tribal Council, and then she's going to get no content if she doesn't go out next episode.
It's an interesting take. I do think Christina's gone like next.
Yeah.
Like there's no way especially after what we've seen right now with the sneak peek. I think there's like you take Christina's idol, you send her home.
Yeah, but I think they still could send like Steven home or Sophie S. Because Steven and Sophie, they seem more.
I think Soph's gonna say, "Who wrote my name down? Who said my name? Oh, Christina said my name. Got it.
Name?
Say my name. Say my name.
Say my name. You're Heisenberg. God damn right.
I was thinking more Beyonce, but
Oh, okay. My fault. I was thinking Breaking Bad. But that's the problem with Christina is that like Survivor editors, they don't edit the players right. And if Christina's out there, we want to know your story. We want to hear from you. If we believe you're playing a good game, you made the merge. All right. We're not the losers on Reddit who are just saying everyone sucks because we're not seeing them on the screens. We know you're playing Survivor. We are going to take down Survivor editors. Me, Josh, and you, Christina. All right. Bring in what's her name from last season? Who got like no screen time whatsoever? Chrissy. Bring in Chrissy as well. Bring in Heather.
Chrissy was my preseason winner.
Dude.
That was so bad.
One season removed. How do you feel about that?
It was really bad. It was a really bad pick.
Yeah,
I could have picked Joe. I could have picked David. I
could have picked Eva. You could have picked Shaheen. You could have picked Camilla.
Anyone else?
It's rough. And again, it's really indicative of how Survivor editors are, where we're trying to talk about Christina, and we immediately start talking about Chrissy Sarnowski from Survivor 48. This is the most people have talked about Chrissy. Again, lack of screen time, lack of confessionals.
I still have Chrissy's pin on my bag that I bring to work. Just like, why?
They're like, oh, dude, is that from Survivor? You're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, is that like Parvati or Tony or Sandra?
Drops every name and says, if you don't know who Chrissy is,
don't talk to me.
Chrissy's on season 50.
That's hey. There's 2 blank slots, okay? You just never know.
It could be Chrissy.
One of the 49 peoples could have dropped out, and Christy could have just been on site at the time. You just never know. What a mess. If it makes you feel better, nothing's beating Hannah Rose as my preseason winner pick of 45.
Yep. We all saw how that went.
Don't worry, I backed it up with Sean Edwards as my number 2. I forgot to tell Sifu that the other day. I kind of felt bad. But anywho, you want to go back to someone who's getting content now on the television?
I think I know who this is. I think. Yes.
It's Juwan.
So, I mean, it's a tough spot for me because I put Juwan like at the 8th spot.
Yeah.
I think Juwan, his edit is showing him as a follower who thinks he's the leader.
Yeah.
And what I do like is that Juwan is feeling like he's in this position of power, but we as the audience know that he really doesn't have that much influence. It's kind of Rizzo who's telling him who to vote. And I'm just confused how these players are going, gung-ho on let's get these people out. And the people that they want out are convincing them to vote other people out. And I just feel like Juwan's edit is losing a lot of credibility as a player who has influence in this game. I don't think Sage and Juwan are in the power spot. In fact, I just think people don't want to vote them out because they don't see them as a threat.
Yeah. And what I can say is before I talk about Juwan and Sage, I just want to say I fully believe there are confessionals upon confessionals of Juwan being like, I need to vote Alex this episode. It makes sense for my game. Like, Alex, I know I want Rizzo gone. We even got a little bit of that tonight going into Tribal Council. But I believe that Juwan and Sage are more aware that they are losing power and that they're letting Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie slip by. I don't even think they see Sophie as a threat. I think they see it as Savannah and Rizzo. Mm-hmm. And so I totally believe that there's confessionals where Juwan and Sage are like, hey, this, I understand. But the problem is we're not seeing that. And so what we do see every episode is Sage and Juwan going, hey, we need Savannah and Rizzo gone. They need to go as soon as possible. They are huge threats. If we let them skate by, they will win the game. And episode after episode after episode, they're not going. And we can justify it all we want. However, the narrative is set in stone. And the narrative is very strong. And I think that this season, at this point, is going to be more narrative focused than strategy focused. Because admittedly, I'm not looking forward to the actual strategic part of the season for the next few episodes. It feels a little helpless, just because one side has amassed so much wealth and power, and that the other side is about to lose their only shield in the idol. And so I feel like a lot of the actual strategy will be negated. And I think it's a little annoying, but also it's just the game, and it's the risk that you run when you have advantages in idols. That is all to say, Juwan, I think, is not winning the game because his confessionals do not line up with what's actually happening. And I think Juwan, more than anyone else, more than Christina, I think Juwan has a case to make it to Final Tribal Council. I think he has a chance to make a deeper run. It's just I don't think he will get the respect from the jury. And Juwan and Sage no longer have the numbers to split votes. And that's where that's really the Achilles heel. Because too many of their numbers are now gone with MC and Alex.
So for me, we're at a point in this season where we only have 8 people to talk about. And I can't name a single thing that literally 5 of them in this game have done. If they were going to sit next to, like, I would be afraid for any other player to sit next to Savannah, Rizzo, or Soph. Because I feel like they're the only ones that have really done things in this game. The edit's showing no one else doing anything. They're showing a dominant game from these players. Even when they're on the bottom, they are playing a dominant game. Their only real loss was Nate. And, you know, there are players that are talking a lot of game, but they're not standing on business, and they're not moving forward with what they believe. Stop following along to what other people are saying to you. I think either I don't know if they know that this 3 is as tight as they are. Like how yeah, it's just I don't understand how they're still not putting votes onto players with the idol. Or, you know, Savannah, if you said you were going to do Savannah. I know she's been immune, but they're not really taking that shot. They're hitting other people.
And I think the MC vote was really bad, was really detrimental. I understand MC overplayed. However, I feel like everyone should have recognized, like, hey, what are we doing here? Why are we attacking each other? Rizzo is still right there. He's probably in our ears trying to divide us because that's how he keeps his idol, and that's how he wins the game. Can we just come back together? I understand that, like, there's a risk, but also, I don't know. I don't know why MC was so, you know, insistent on keeping Jawan. I don't know why she just asked to switch it over to Sage, because I feel like Sage and Jawan are interchangeable. I don't know why Hina's just, you know, just agreeing to go eat each other and target each other at every turn. It doesn't really make any sense. And it's also kind of what happens to when your tribe wins everything and you're not used to going to tribal councils and you're not used to having to, like, play hard, and you're just writing that kumbaya, good feelings, good vibes kind of thing.
I hear you. Yeah. Pretty much what I've had to say about Jawan, I feel like it's very interchangeable. It's not interchangeable. It's like the same.
Yeah.
Jawan and Sage are playing the same game right now. So everything that I've said about Jawan is exactly the same for Sage. Sage is saying a lot, but isn't doing a lot, you know? And that's what's really difficult for me is these 2 players are being played. They're being played by the players they want to get out. I'm not sure if it's fear of the idol or fear or other people's fear of the idol, but I mean, you have this target, this ongoing battle. It seems it's Sage and Savannah. That clash is going to happen at some point, and they don't even realize that it's game over. Like, they're playing their game now. They have no influence.
At this point, if you are Sage and Jawan, and let's just say you're able to just magically find out, or let's just say Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie tell you, like, hey, we have an idol, we have a knowledge of power, we have an extra vote. We are not going. You have no power, no ammunition, because it's so late into the game now. Like, you're just kind of forced to play along. And at this point, as much as it doesn't really make sense to, if I was just everyone else, I would just say, hey, like, we kind of have to just take a stand. We have to make them flush the idol. You know, I understand it ruins one person's game, but if not that, if one person doesn't sacrifice themselves, then those 3 are just going to win anyways. And, you know, I would look for a sacrificial lamb. I'd be like, Christina, are you willing to be a motherly figure for us? They want to take the fall. But no. Yeah. It sucks too, because this is like such a fun feud going on. Like, this is a really cool rivalry going on between Sage and Savannah. Like, this feels very two-way. Both people don't really like each other. Both have their villainous streaks too. I know Sage at first was kind of the hero, but now over time is, like, starting to get more and more villainous. And I think Savannah more and more is starting to get a little more personable and a little more underdoggy. Even when Savannah turns back into a villain, this gets power. But
Savannah's always
every-
been an underdog, to be honest. She's always
Yeah.
been an underdog. She's never been on the top.
no, she's not. No. What?
What?
Do not watch the first half.
Oh,
of the season?
sorry. I misinterpreted. For some reason, I misinterpreted and heard Sage, not Savannah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was going to
I
say.
was talking about Sage because Sage has always been an underdog. I was going to say
Yeah.
she's never been on the top. She's always been on the bottom, and she's still here. I just think that people aren't afraid of Sage in this game, and they see Sage as a number. But you brought up a good point before, where you talked about something that made me think of something. You know how easy this would have been if Christina just played the idol for Alex? I mean, given she might not have known that Alex's name was out there, but if she played that idol for Alex, how huge would that have been? It would have been Sofa would have went. Because if she played the idol on Alex, Rizzo might have said, "Oh, I'm playing the idol for me," and then Sophie gone.
Yeah, and
How big
some
of a move would that be? That would change the trajectory of the game entirely.
and I feel like that would have been so much more than just like that would have just been a complete reset. And now everyone's back on semi-equal footing. Yes, Sophie still has knowledge as power, but also that is now useless with the idol hunt. Someone could find it and not tell anyone. And
Even if Soph did survive, she'd have to restart because she'd have to refine the information for the idol, and it wouldn't even be out there.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been a great what if. Like if we were in an alternate universe, Christina plays that idol for Alex, we could see someone from Hina winning this game.
Yeah, but
Because then they'd have no power. Then Rizzo and Savannah would be on the bottom, and they'd have no power. They'd have no influence. It would just be Savannah's extra vote. So at that point, they're trying to flip somebody, which they probably could with Sage and Juwan, since they don't want to play their own game. It's just the edit is really showing them have zero influence. And I find it hard to recover at this point, especially when you aren't really anyone else's strongest ally. Sage and Juwan are all they really have. Nobody else is really saying, I need Sage and Juwan.
Yeah. It sucks too because like Sage and Juwan are really good characters. I've really enjoyed their presence, and I don't know if like a casual fan thinks that this is way more even than what it is, because I believe a casual doesn't know who the Survivor 50 returnees are. I don't even think they know that the Survivor 50 cast has been out yet. And I wonder if it's way more even and way more like what's going to happen, because that's why Survivor edits, they cater it to the majority audience, the casual fans. And so like it's really annoying for us. I know I sound really like snarky and egotistical, like, oh, we're the real fans. Not saying that at all, but like we just notice the trends and we notice the tropes and we just notice the patterns way more. And it's like, of course, the two players who every round, every episode are saying we need to vote these two players out, they still aren't. That's not going to make it look good for their winning chances. I don't think anyone's taking them seriously anymore. And, it's kind of Jover as of right now. I hope I'm wrong too. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I want a Sage win more than anyone, but no. That's honestly all I have to really say about Sage and Juwan. Like, is there anything else? They're again interchangeable for both of us.
Yeah, they're both playing the same game, and I don't think they're getting a good edit. They're getting the edit like they feel like they have the power, but we know they haven't really been able to influence anything. They've been following other people's games.
Yo, JE as well. Big J in the chat. What's up, Jay? Yeah. Next up, though, we have an interesting character because Jay, I'm glad you're here too because you're my buddy about like the SPV. Why is Sophie so negative? Like, why does everyone talk about her so negatively all the time? Like everyone just dunks on Sophie now. Have you noticed that?
I have, but here's the great thing too. Sophie's edit has skyrocketed. She's been getting a lot more screen time, and I think this is why they were waiting for Sophie, because this was Sophie's moment. This is where her story really starts picking up in like the bigger narrative of this season. I had to place Sophie here at 5 because, I mean, she's at the bottom of this alliance. She just got scooped up. They're not going to trust her for that long. Sophie's somebody that you have to take out because of the immunity chances. I mean, she's come in second at worst every single competition she's played. Like, she's a great shield to have. And I do think that she'll survive this next vote because I do think that the players in the game at 7 are going to need a shield. But Sophie is looking like a 7, a 6 boot in terms of like where she's actually probably going to go. But it's so hard to not put Jawan and Sage at a lower spot because they're not threats. They're not threats to win the game.
Yeah, I have her lower. Did you notice 2 people called her Soph? I
did actually.
Yeah.
I think it was at the beginning of the episode too, right after Tribal, somebody did call her. So yeah,
but
I did.
And Jay, I kind of disagree with the Genevieve Light edit with Sophie. I think I still have her low because like last episode, during the split round, Rizzo was talking and sizing up both Sophie and MC. Rizzo was like, MC has a lot of connections across the board, especially with Steven. Sophie has nobody, right? And then end episode, come back. Everyone's like, Sophie's still in the game. We thought she was going to go. This sucks. Everyone treats her like garbage. And then it cuts to like Steven and Christina. And Steven's like, you know, Sophie was shocked to hear that she was on the outs. Like, that's just not good gameplay. And that is the big crux that I have against Steven, especially because Steven should have been better. I had more trust in Steven about this, but the fact that the Heenas kind of alienated Sophie S as well, they are burning numbers. They are going through numbers quickly. And the fact that like no one was really there, it just left Sophie wide open for the underdogs, for Savannah Rizzo and Sophie to just pick her up.
I think you make a good point. The Heenas forgot what they were fighting.
Yeah.
They forgot that the narrative was, you know, that tribal war. And they ate themselves up, you know? They ate themselves up. They went after each other and they really, really gave it up to the Ulis. At this point, like, they're dominating. There's only 3v3. No, it's a 4v3v1.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
But like at the same time too, I don't think it's really tribe divisions anymore. I think it's more just like alliances. I think because, you know, like Sophie is an Uli, but I'm not calling Sage or Jawan an Uli member.
But all of these alliances that were made were derived off of OG tribe like values.
Yeah.
Like Savannah and Rizzo still have each other, but when they had their majority on that 2.0 tribe, they picked up Soph, and Soph became an honorary Uli. So that's kind of how I see it. She doesn't have a tribe, so Uli is her tribe now.
Yeah.
And those they didn't even go to tribal. Like, it took Sophie so long to go to tribal that the first time she was vulnerable, they couldn't help making Sophie an option. Now hear this. You know, Sophie broke a record in Survivor.
Yeah.
Does anybody know this? For those who don't know, Sophie broke a record in Survivor for the most days consecutively being immune before they're vulnerable. And I think she went 14 days. That is the record.
In the new era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. In new era. You're right.
Yeah, because no one
has gone 14 days being immune. So
Because-
that's pretty impressive
Yeah.
pretty impressive. You went more than half of
No,
your
do you-
time out there.
Do you want to know the real record? Do you know the craziest record I think in Survivor history?
Isn't it Joe? Isn't it
Yeah.
Joe who has that? Yeah.
Joe spent 28 days immune in Cambodia before he was vulnerable. By the way.
Well, Joe's a
Like-
beast.
But Joe spent more time immune in Survivor Cambodia than any player has spent playing since 41. I'm pretty sure that it's 28 days.
Wow. That's a pretty crazy stat.
It's definitely a record. I'm trying to find it now, but it's definitely like way too long and way too far. Oh, until day 29. 29 days of being immune, Joe was, by the way.
That's insane.
So again, I'm not saying that like players like Rachel and Jonathan, I'm not saying they're not challenge feasts, but like that's why I want Survivor go back to 39 days, because crazy records like that. The Cal Ripken of Survivor immunity wins. If you know, you know. Anywho, I'm dying to talk about Steven.
Oh,
I'm dying. I'm dying to talk
Will
about
said, "I'm done talking about Sophie. It's
Okay,
time to talk about Steven."
was there more to talk about
But
Sophie? There's not much to say
glad
about
we're on
Sophie.
I'm glad we're on the same page this week about Steven, though, because
Yeah.
I think this was a great episode for Steven, Will.
No,
I don't-
I disagree.
Hold on.
Okay.
It showed a lot more to me about Steven. And here's what I will say about Steven. Steven's in a very great position because each time Steven's game has to become a little more fluid with these allies that he's losing. But if there's anything that I've learned about Steven, it's his social game is freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. That entire immunity challenge, he was eating that up. I think Steven is somebody who can light up the room and can make anyone feel like he's their best friend. I don't think anyone's going to be worried about Steven.
You know
I
what?
really don't think anyone's going to be worried about Steven until the end. Steven might be that one to beat. Maybe I said it was MC, but maybe Steven's the one who makes it to 5 but gets cut right before the end. He has a great social game. Now, I know he's losing allies, but still, this showed a lot of good sides to Steven's social game, and I just wanted to call that out.
I honestly think this might be early to say because, recency bias and, I'm just a contrarian. I like rooting for the people that I don't think are going to win. I think Steven is a really good Survivor player who just got really unlucky and is getting really unlucky every single round. Because let's not forget that, like, Steven, a tribe swap happened, and then Steven immediately lost 2 allies that he was working with, and then he finds an idol, and then MC goes to grab the idol, immediately gets spotted by Savannah, so MC has to burn the idol, or else they become big threats. Then the demerge happened where MC and Sophie, they got into a spat, and then MC got voted out. And like, I think Steven could be a much better player. I just think that the things that need to work out that are out of his control aren't in his control. That said, I was a little disappointed again how he handled Sophie, because Steven is shown to be a really good social player, and I wish he was able to just use that charm. Like, to me, I just have more of an expectation. I get it, it was after tribal and you weren't thinking straight and whatever, but I was really hoping that he would just, smooth things over with Sophie, because Steven has the social game and he's shown doing it at every step of the way. I love Steven so far. I'm so glad. The 180 I took on Steven, by the way, night and day. I love Steven. I'm a big Steven fan now.
You've always been a big Steven fan, to be
Not
honest.
episode 1.
What?
Not episode 1. I was critical of Steven.
What?
I said one bad thing about him.
No, but Steven's really been showing that social game, and I think that's really what it is. His charm will win him the game if he sits to the end, and I think that's what people are going to see as a threat. He won an immunity, so we know we can win. He can win immunities, but honestly, when it comes to Steven, like he can definitely charm jury. He can
Yeah.
definitely work a jury. He knows how to make people laugh. He knows how to make people, in a good mood. He has that personality, and I think that's what's going to get him this far. But I do disagree with your statement about he's been getting very unlucky. I think he's been getting outwitted.
I don't think it's outwitted.
This season has been outwit.
No, I think I don't blame because
Outwit,
Steven just
outplay.
wasn't there for the demerge. Like he had no room whatsoever because he was on the winning tribe.
Yeah.
And so he had no that's why I say it was unlucky, because then it's like his ally like just started playing very poorly and he wasn't there to be like, hey, MC, let's take a chill pill real quick. Let's see what's going on. Let's just decompress, see what's going on. And then like now he's just outgunned and outmaneuvered. And I think if Steven played another season, I think if Steven just had other allies, or maybe if he was able to enforce his trust with people early on, I think if went to tribal council early, voted out Sophie, that alone, and then Steven, bam, now has that core four. They now know that they are in lockstep with each other, and maybe Uli has more opposition. It's hard to say. And Jay could see a fourth place finish for Steven. I agree. I think Steven could make it to. I don't know. I just know he's not making final tribal council.
I hear that. So I have a little bit of a statement. I think our top three, now that we've seen who everyone else is, I think each of our top three embodies a specific portion of Survivor. We have outwit, we have outplay, and we have outlast. I think when it comes to the outlast portion, we know that Soph has been to a lot of tribals. So I would 100% say that Soph is our outlast player this season. When we have the outplay portion, I would say that that's Savannah. Savannah's got 2 immunities. How isn't Savannah like?
I disagree, actually.
Take it out. I think people are going to respect that in the end, because people are going to say Savannah was on the bottom. Her name kept coming out. You know what she did? She fought for those immunities. She played herself into the top. She won when she needed to. And then we have that outwit, Rizzo, taking out MC, gunning for Alex this episode. He is on that gas pedal. He is saying, I have this idol. I'm going to get my targets out. And this idol is my shield. This is the shield for me.
I would actually swap Savannah and Rizzo, because I view outplay as Rizzo making those moves. To me, playing is like,
oh, that's
Rizzo's,
outplay. You consider that outplay.
And I think Savannah's ability to pick up a lot of the bottom feeders, a lot of the outsiders to join the alliance. We saw that with Sophie in the swap. We saw that with Sophie now. I think Savannah is much more typical outwit, because I think she is doing things to position herself and position her alliance better than the opposition, while Rizzo feels way more like cutthroat, like, hey, we got to snipe Alex, we got to snipe this. But I do agree 100%.
I think
Savannah is
body. Yeah. So you say Savannah is our season's outwit, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now that we're talking about the outwit, I kind of want to. I mean, we've seen their players' games. Like, they got advantages. I don't really want to. If that's okay, can we take like maybe a different approach to this?
Yeah,
go ahead. Talk about their chances, because like they're dominating this edit right now. Like nobody else has a shot. In my opinion, it would be like a major blindside if somebody else pulled something off and got in there and took it away from one of these players. But Savannah, when it comes to Savannah, I think we all know that Savannah has that storytelling ability to win in the end. When she's with those jury members, she's going to let people know she was on the bottom, that she won her way into a position that gave her the numbers again. And I think she's very great speaker. When it comes to the three of them, I think Savannah's the best speaker of them all. She can talk her way out of situations. She can speak really well. She's a great storyteller. The way that she tells people about who she is and uses that to her advantage, I think is really beneficial to her game. Hello?
Oh, yeah. My computer is freaking out. So if I sound like a robot for a second, hello? Okay, I'm back. That was weird. I kind of missed a lot of that because of just my computer. I heard
No.
robot noises.
No worries.
But yeah, no,
I'd
I
love
think
to hear what you have-
Savannah is a weird case because I think Savannah has a way stronger edit than Rizzo and Sophie on paper. I think she's just getting a little too negative SPV, and I think it's a question of the jury with Savannah. I think Savannah, I could see Savannah getting second place, and second in particular, not third, but I could see her getting jury votes from her close allies. But I could see her social game just not being as tight. And I even think to an extent too, maybe that's just not a Savannah problem. Maybe she's trying her best, but sometimes people just clash with each other. I think that's what we're seeing with Savannah and Sage. I think they're just two polar opposite people whose biggest insecurities kind of clash with each other. And I see Sage making jury before Savannah. And so I can see Sage not deliberately, but I see Sage poisoning the well with Savannah. I can see Sage getting to jury and being like, I'm not a big fan of Savannah, and that making other people go like, oh, Savannah, because of the herd mentality that can go on in Ponderosa. And I can see Savannah being a victim of that bitter jury. And she was called evil the other night. Like evil. MC called Savannah evil, and that's always just funny to just keep in mind. And it's just way too good of an edit, and so it's like it kind of reminds me of Charlie in a way, or Carson, just a good, really good edit where it's almost too good, and you're like, what's going on with this? Like, why is this happening the way it's happening? But I'm a big Savannah fan. I still like what Savannah's bringing. Savannah is a villain, and Savannah is someone who is better, worse, is making people talk about Survivor. And that's what we need more of in today's age on Survivor, if you ask me.
I hear you. Yeah, I feel like this our top three really have, each one of them has a story to win this game.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a bloodbath in the end.
And I think Steven could dark horse it, but there's no way anyone else is winning, and I'm writing off Steven. Like he's just like the 0.1%, sadly. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Next up, we have Sophie at number 2. Sophie's my winner pick.
Okay, why do you have Sophie higher than the rest?
It's mainly just higher than Rizgod and Savannah. I think Sophie just has a stronger edit. And there was a moment in this episode that I jotted down and I underlined like 3 times, and I put it in big bold letters. I put a star next to it as well.
Oh, a star.
Okay.
I
put a star.
Now we're getting serious. Hold up.
Yeah.
Let's put the crackpot theory on. Yeah, I don't even know if it's
I don't. It's not even crack. I'll play it.
Just play it. Just play the graphic. I need the graphic. It's not Stockwatch without the crackpot.
Your entire life. So Sophie had a confessional really, really early on when she got the knowledge is power. And I feel Star's in the mix. Star from last season as well.
That's what I was thinking. It's a star too.
But Sophie basically said, like, all paths come back to me, all information comes back to me. And I that was one of those confessionals I wrote down with the star. I underlined it because that is, to me, a sign of a narrative. That is a sign of a winner story. That is a clue. And yeah. And Zan's in a fan cam of Sophie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can always do the fan cam strat. Always do the fan cam strat.
What's the fan cam strat?
You do like a fan cam montage, and then if it sounds like really winner-esque, then they're the winner. Like you can compile a lot of like Sophie's like moments where she's like, I'm the winner, and then that'll just look cool. But no. All right. This episode, Christina, someone who we've never really saw interact with Sophie like that. Just we've never understood Sophie and Christina's relationship. Christina is telling Sophie about the plan to vote Alex out, or not Alex, the plan to vote Rizgod out, and how Rizzo needs to go and how she needs to flush the idol. Christina is unaware that Sophie is playing the game with Savannah and Rizzo. They don't know that. Sophie still hasn't told anyone about the knowledge is power. Information is still getting back to Sophie. The only thing about that I'm worried about is Christina's idol. However, Sage now has that information. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Thank you. And there's a knowledge is power question mark getting played, so maybe they're just hiding it for next episode. But I think Sophie is getting the most complete edit, and I honestly think that Rizzo, I'm just going to be direct when I say I think his is just more flashy. I get just like I always get Xander vibes from Rizzo. You know? Like I understand, I see what he's doing. I hear it. I'm loving it. I love just a cocky underdog who's like getting his way. But at the same time, I feel like it's just a little too flashy for me. And so I have Sophie squarely at my number 1 still to this day.
That's a valid point. I think she has a good way because she's like outlasted. Like, how do you not sit in the end and say, hey, listen, I honestly, even if she won fire, I'm like, this girl has been to nearly every tribal council and she survived. I think it's really impressive, especially when her entire tribe got decimated and she had to make new allies at the merge. Like, she had to find people. She said, I didn't get to start out with these people. I had to make these alliances. When I was a very easy vote, people saw me as a tool, and I wanted to play into that. I really struggle to believe with the fact that Sophie doesn't win this game, but it's really hard to see that when she's not making moves and she's not necessarily like close with anybody else. Everybody sees her as expendable, and I don't think I think to an extent, and I'm going to say this, I think to an extent as a Survivor winner, to some extent, you can keep things secret, but you should always play into the fact that, you know, the remaining players that are still in the game while the game's progressing should know a little bit about your game. That's important because then it gives your game a little bit more credibility when you get when those players get to the jury, people who can vouch that they have seen how you've played. Because I think it's really hard when you come into Final Tribal Council and this is the first time that they're hearing of it. It's hard to make a decision like that unless they have that time to brew on it, to think on it. Why should this person deserve to win this game? And I don't think people really understand her game, despite she has survived so many tribal councils and her tribe has been decimated. So I think maybe that might be the Achilles heel right now of Soph's game, is her ability to allow players to know a little bit about her game. What do you think about that? Because I just don't think that other players besides Savannah and Rizzo really understand Soph's game. And that's really dangerous because if Rizzo and Savannah sit right next to her, nobody can vouch for her in that jury besides Alex.
I would argue that, but again, this episode, Christina told Sophie a plan to directly take out Sophie's ally. You know, I think Sophie is in the flow of information. I think Sophie is in a lot of conversations, and it's just we're not seeing a lot of those conversations because we just don't have the time, because a lot of it is unnecessary. Because there's always something that happens or something that goes wrong. Plus, like the MC tribal just doesn't really matter in terms of like how I view win equities a lot of the time, because it's like, what can you do? And Sophie gets a lot of unnecessary screen time as well. I forgot to mention that. But I think in terms of jury, I think sometimes the narrative writes itself. I think if Sophie says like, hey, I went to every single tribal, all but 2 tribal councils, all but 1, whatever. I was constantly an underdog. I constantly used my social cues. I was good with everyone, and I couldn't make a big game, or I couldn't make big splashes, because the second Sophie becomes a slightly big threat, her threat level is going to be so much larger than everyone else's, because she still has the story of going to every single tribal council, and she voted out 4 people that no one in the game has interacted with. You know, she already has that blood on her hands already, and all roads go back to Sophie. And if I think Rizzo goes on the jury. By
I
the
think
way.
well, if Rizzo or Savannah are on the jury, that is going to help Soph's game, and that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Diary, I think that's a good point because, I think there's an art to this in Survivor. Some players are better at it than others, but there is an art to putting your allies on the jury. Because you don't want all your enemies on the jury. They're going to have bad blood. You want to make sure that there's some people that are going to vouch for you, some people that are going to respect your game. And I think that's really important because if you're not thinking about who you're putting on the jury rather than I need to vote this player out because they're bad for my game, sometimes it's easier to do that. But it's smarter to think about who is going to have your back on that jury. I would rather fill the jury with players who are going to have my back than potentially, fill it up with people who won't and sit next to my allies. Because if I'm sitting next to the people who are going to vouch for me, who's going to vouch for me in the jury? I think it's a
I'll
lot
vouch
harder.
for you in the jury.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry, Josh. And she has the Kelly standing thing as someone to use as an argument. It'll be a new era record. I think so. This is we're talking about Denise Stapley levels right here. Not as bad as Denise Stapley, but like we're pretty close. We're almost at Denise Stapley. Sophie B might.
Hold up. Denise had Malcolm.
Yeah,
She always
Sophie has not Alex.
Nobody
Has
left.
Savannah and Rizzo.
Yeah, but that's not from their original tribe.
That doesn't need to be from the original tribe, all right? Denise is her own. Denise is a better player than Malcolm.
Oh, well, I see 2 seasons. I see a winning Philippine season. I also see winners at war.
Let's not talk about her winners at war season. Actually, I don't want to talk about that. Do you know how depressing that was for me? I saw the winners at war live. I was rooting for Denise Stapley the most.
Sorry, Will.
Just kidding. I was still a Tony Vlachos fan. I had fun during Winners at War.
I still haven't seen Winners at War. Is that crazy?
And they've done.
Yep.
What's with Survivor Now people not knowing Survivor?
Here's the thing. I still have a few seasons left, but I need to get through Healers, Hustlers. I need to get through it.
Actually, HVH is a good season. It's fun.
I have to get through it. I just got to the point where they merged. But like honestly, I have because like I'm watching it. I'm watching it because I've never seen it. So this is the first time currently that I'm watching Chrissy's game. This is the first time I've seen it. So I still got season. I still have to watch Ghost Island. I still got to watch a few others. Yeah.
You could skip Ghost Island. No offense to Ghost Island.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I have to watch Ghost Island.
Ghost Island. I mean, it's not a bad season. It's a bad season. HVH, honestly, it kind of reminds me of this season a little bit.
I like Ryan. Like Ryan's my guy in that season. And I'm not sure if you remember him, but
no, you would like Ryan.
No, you don't have to. No, listen, Jay. I've been spoiled every single season of Survivor.
Yeah.
Everyone. I know who wins. I just want to see how they won or how they got there. Oh, actually, I also haven't finished David vs. Goliath. I was like in the middle of that and I never finished David vs. Goliath. I got some seasons I gotta watch.
David versus Goliath. That's
I only watch Survivor when I work out because I like watching the immunity challenges when Jeff says go, and then I'm just like, I can do it.
Yeah, that's your motive. Just on a 30-minute video.
Let me tell you something. You go on a 30-minute run, you put on Survivor. By the time Jeff is saying, let's go, it's time. You got to dig deep.
I'm gonna put on the Caleb evacuation episode while I run next time.
That's horrible.
No, dude, you've ruined Stockwatch for everyone. Everyone's now mad at you, Josh. They're like, "What?"
No, I know. I watched it. I started it, but I never got to finish it.
Josh, you should finish. So over the off season, we can do a tier list, a Survivor rank down tier list.
Seasons tier list. I don't know if I could do 50 tiers. 50. We need to rank it in are we gonna rank it like 1 through 50, or are we gonna rank it like S tier, A tier?
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
we do a Stockwatch ranking.
Oh,
Like, the official Stockwatch ranking.
the official
Pearl
Stockwatch
Islands,
ranking.
number 1. Pearl Islands.
No,
Yes.
the Gabon at number 1 pick is going to be so big.
I'm telling you right now, Gabon will be snubbed heavily for me. Snubbed.
What?
Gabon will go downhill. I was not a Gabon fan. I like the characters in Gabon, but
If you rewatch, you have to rewatch Gabon. You have to watch
do I
Gabon
have to
3
rewatch
times in order
every
to like
season
it.
now? Like, people keep
You gotta
telling me
watch.
Gabon is the season to watch. Like, everybody says that their favorite season is Gabon. I have a friend named David who says that his favorite season is Gabon. Will loves Gabon. My friend Diana says my favorite season is Gabon. What is
Yeah.
up with Gabon? Like,
I don't think Gabon is underrated anymore. I think it's
no, it's
I mean-
not. People love Gabon apparently. Like,
people
it's like underrated for me.
because it's just like a garbage fire. It's basically just watching a cast crash and burn at every turn. It's everything that could go wrong. Jeff Probst is pissed off the entire time. The Fallen Tribe falling apart. It's definitely one where you have to be a certain kind of Survivor fan. You can't go in wanting strategy.
No, I want chaos.
And that's what Gabon is, dude. Like
I might need to rewatch Gabon.
a guy got voted out because he got pissed off because he didn't have a cookie. I hope there's a guy earlier in the season, he was elected to be the tribe leader, decided I don't want to do this, and then went missing. He just left. He just wandered around. I love Gabon.
Gotta rewatch it.
Honestly, the real hot take, the real underrated gem is Nicaragua, but no one is ready for that conversation.
Mm.
No one is ready to laugh at Nyanka. Laugh with Nyanka.
There were some good players, but it wasn't high on my list, to be honest.
No, it's
Jane Bright,
If-
though.
if you don't Dave Wright?
No, Jane Bright, right?
Oh, Jane Bright. I was gonna say Dave Wright. What?
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like if you like 46, then you would like Gabon and Nicaragua.
Mm.
I love Nicaragua though. It's actually genuinely top 5.
I have a buff from that season.
Really?
Yes, I do. It is the Espada tribe, the older tribe. Yeah, I have one.
I love the Espada tribe. Jimmy Johnson. The Jimmy
I
and
thought
Jimmy.
that was a surprise, like, because I recognized him. I'm like, wait, I've seen him before.
Yeah. He's actually like one of the most famous and popular
I mean,
guys in
football. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's a case where he's like top 300 people of all time. There's a case.
Top 300 people to ever live.
Maybe not.
Is that what you're saying? Is that an official Stockwatch ranking?
Now I want to
Where does Russell Hand rank on that list?
nowhere, by the way. Also, I want to say the Medallion of Power is the most overhated twist in all of Survivor. Yes, it was dumb. Yes, it didn't do anything. Yes, it's forgettable. But also, would we rather have a like forgettable twist that doesn't impact the game, or like a stupid game-breaking twist like Do or Die? People hate on Medallion of Power way too much. All I'll say.
Mm-mm.
By the way, we still have to talk about Rizzo.
Yes, we do.
I
Rizzo's
kinda
my
got
winner.
distracted. Rizzo's the winner?
I'm the Riz God. Like, I'm with him. He's my favorite player.
Rizzo's too character for me. He's too much of a character. It's too
See, but
much.
here's the thing. I love players like Rizzo who like to create that character that's
Yeah.
wild.
Love
goofy,
him all
like
you want.
Q. I told you Q. Q was my favorite player of 46. I was
Yeah,
rooting
was Q a good winner pick, Josh?
I don't care. You got Cancer Christmas. Like, I love Q because like every time he was in the confessional, and that's why 46 will always hold a special place in my heart, was because of Q. Like,
Yeah.
I needed somebody who was keeping me in it. Like, keep me involved, be wild, be bold, be chaotic. And Q was just like, he was just throwing darts on the board. He said, that's the thing. Q played the game to have fun, but like
Mhm.
he also played to win. And I like he had that fine line of I'm not just I might be, being a little bit over dramatic to create this character for myself. And part of that is my personality in projecting that out there. But I also think that Q is like this. I also think like part of it is like who he is. Like he loves to have fun. He loves to be big and bold. And I love that about a Survivor player because it makes it so much more fun. I don't want to hear you in the confessional like, come on, Q, tell me it's time to cancel Christmas again.
Dude, the Liz meltdown still lives
That was
rent free.
iconic. That made me start going to Applebee's. I didn't know what Applebee's was. No, I'm kidding. I did, but like, I'm not eating at Applebee's. I didn't know anything about the bourbon burger. Liz, I apologize sincerely. I didn't understand your game. I didn't know that you were classy. I didn't know that was who you were. Like,
okay, so you like Q, but you don't like Randy?
I do. Randy was just
or Kenny.
Sorry, but like he was just honestly. I think Randy is a different type of villain because I think there was not a single thing about him that was like game. Like this is game or this is the character I'm trying to build. I think he was honestly just like a really bad person.
No, not a bad person. Actually, Gabon has one of the most heartwarming and gut-wrenching secret scenes you'll ever see in Survivor that they axed because they hate characters, but they humanized the shit out of Randy. I will have no slant. There's a really good scene of Randy talking about his dog and his dog passing away. It is actually genuinely really heartwarming. You will turn on Randy.
Well, they really then Survivor editors painted him out to be the biggest villain ever. I will never forget that auction cookie scene. I will never forget that.
He wasn't his fault.
He said, "Oh, you don't want the cookie? No, this is my cookie to give."
Poor Randy, man. Okay, Randy's not the biggest a-hole. There's bigger.
I'll give you that. It's been a while since I've watched Gabon. Remember, I forget about him. I just remember that he made the villain tribe, and he did not last long.
And he burned his buff.
Yeah, I do remember that. He did burn his buff. But what I just to kind of bring it back to Rizzo, I think Rizzo's made some big moves. He's been really bold these past 2 episodes, and it's kind of hard not to put him in this position because he's the one with the influence. He has this idol. He's shifting the votes off of him, and he's somehow not getting any votes onto him. Nobody wants to flush the idol, and he still has it. He can do it again. He can do it again and again and again. Hell, Rizzo might not even need to play this idol ever at this point.
It's not looking good. I'm really hoping there is a small chance. There's a chance Sophie does the knowledge is power and plays it on Rizzo. Now that could mean one of a few things. One, that could just be like a crazy plan to try to make them seem way more separate than they are, But at the same time too, that would just mean that people would vote Rizzo. So I don't know what that would do. But like word on the street, people are like, dude, what if Sophie takes the idol from Rizzo? So I want to entertain that, but at the same time, it's just looking, no one else has a good edit. And so Rizzo's kind of like, I don't even think Rizzo has that good of an edit. It's just stronger than everyone else's for now.
I would say that would be the case that Rizzo's idol might have been in question for this knowledge is power use. But the thing that throws me off is they specifically showed us that Sage was told about the idol. And that's where the crack starts to leak out more of the information.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
And Rizzo, his flowers, for sure, mad respect for holding on to his idol, but him getting a bit goofy. Yeah. And it's not a Rizzo thing with Rizzo being goofy in the edit. That is, because like, surely there's confessionals where Rizzo is like dropping all pretense, especially at this point. Like, there has to be like normal Rizzo scenes where he's just like, this is hard, this is rough, whatever.
Normal Rizzo scene.
Like, just Rizzo being Rizzo, not Riz God. And we're not seeing it. And so it just feels a little too cartoony. It's definitely possible. It's just like the character winners, we haven't really had one in a long while that played well. Like Gabler is a character winner to me. In that, I'm not saying Gabler was the best player of all time, but also, what do we know about Gabler? He did win like 8-1-0. He was one vote away from playing a perfect game. So, what do we know at the end of the day?
Yeah. But I think Rizzo. I think it's no doubt Rizzo's last couple episodes have really put some big resume moves onto his name. He's got MC and Alex on his belt. Those are two players that wouldn't have been good for his game.
Yeah.
So I think Rizzo made some good moves for his game, and I think it's just going to excel him a little bit farther. Right now, I think he's got the winner pick. He's my top spot for this week.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Honestly, Rizzo has a lot of good stocks. Rizzo is the highest you can buy him right now, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to sell him. You're not selling him. You can't. Yeah. You gotta hold that stock. You gotta hold your shares, man. I own 51% of Rizzo right now in the stock.
51%? Oh my god!
I have majority ownership of Rizzo.
That means if Rizzo wins, he has to give you $500,000.
No, I want my $510,000 for the 51%.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna take my
that
money.
1% gets diluted down to market holders. The shareholder. Who are shareholders? What does it mean? I never understand what people mean when they say that.
The more shares you have, the more stake you have in the company because you're investing.
I guess. But what is a stock? I never knew.
You never knew that you are your stockbroker.
Yeah. Well, I'm the survivor stockbroker.
Where did you get your qualifications, Will? What school did you get your degree in?
Reddit.com. Wow. I don't blame you. It's rough. Anywho.
I went to Paramount University.
Went to Paramount Plus University?
I went to Paramount Plus University. It took me 2 years to get my degree, and I've still got a couple of credits that I got to finish up.
Clearly, you got to finish up, dog. Time's ticking. David versus Goliath is rough. That's insane.
I got to watch it. It's a great season, but I just didn't finish it.
But honestly, HVHVH deserves flowers too. It's not a great season. It's not like a legendary. It's not like Cagayan or Pearl Islands.
It's got some good players.
Yeah, it's like just like a good season of Survivor. It is just like you want to watch some goofy characters. I like, even though some of the characters feel like off-brand versions, like Joe Mina was just them trying to bring back Tony. Same thing with Ryan trying to bring back Cochran. But like they have enough stuff happens, and I don't even mind the winner, even though I was rooting for Devin to win.
Yeah,
what can you do? Good luck, Josh. Jay says.
Thanks, Jay.
But no, I think that's been it for us. Josh, again, any closing remarks you'd like to say to the jury?
No.
Oh.
Any closing remarks you want to say to the jury? That's actually, I like that as like a little Stockwatch. Like that's the name of our chat. The jury.
Ooh.
What is the jury? What does the jury think?
The jury says it does, but I have a lot of great stuff in it. My first time watching, I was rooting for Ben, so I was sad. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like if you rooted for Ben,
wait, Ben wins. I'm kidding. I know.
I was gonna say there's no way. No way. Then surely.
No, I know. I knew the whole time.
The heart attack I just had. Anywho, we will see y'all next week, same time as always, to talk about Christina and her journey because she's getting voted out next. Apparently, this is Christina's story. We're here to talk about it. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.